right. So I mentioned that I was going to be releasing my prologue on different medias. Uh, if I'm unable to put this on the media because of some of the language, then I apologize. But this is my prologue. I'm also going to be posting the text in case you don't want to watch the video. But if you don't want to read the text, I'll read to you. So this is the prologue to my book, my story, and it is called Water is Thicker Than Blood After All. It was April 29th, 2025. 1 year ago, on a bright, beautiful, and sunny day, I did a thing. I killed myself. No shit, I still can't believe I went through with it to this day. Now, I'm unable to recall the events of what happened that day. I mean, I was, dead. But I was informed that I was resuscitated, airflighted to the hospital, spent a day and a half on life support, and then I was transferred straight to a mental health institution. I mean, several of my originally close family members had alienated and abandoned me when I needed them the most. I was depressed. I was lonely. I was enraged at their neglect, and I was hurt. My wife had been in and out of the hospital about 10 times in 1 year. Even when she was home, in between hospital admissions, she was sick, asleep, or vomiting a majority of the time. I had recently had surgery on my left foot and was not supposed to be bearing weight on it, but with no one to help and my wife constantly hospitalized, there I was walking on my foot. I mean, who else was going to get everything done? More important than all of these things was this. I felt like my son hated me. I mean, he had literally told me so. When my son told me that he could easily forget me and that he wanted me dead as long as he didn't have to see my body, I was distraught. I was destroyed inside. I understand now that he's a teenager and going through puberty. Boys, especially boys, tend to go through a lot of angry and mixed emotions. That darn testosterone. I see now that in his rage he said something that he did not mean. I didn't comprehend that then, so with everything all together, I decided to end my pain and suffering. I took a lot of pills, like I'm talking a gargantuan amount of pills that I had secretly been saving up. Then I laid in my bed and I proceeded to die. The craziest part is I remember my death. I remember darkness everywhere. It was as if closing my eyes while in the dark and seeing the inside of my eyelids. I was floating without the actual sensation of floating. There was no concept of time. I wasn't sure if it was moving fast or slow or if it had been minutes, days, or years, nor that I cared. In fact, I had zero thoughts. Imagine a brain like mine that's constantly running, suddenly going silent. I didn't even realize until I had awakened in the ICU that during my time in this abyss that was possibly some form of limbo, that I indeed had some sort of awareness that I was simply there. Wherever I was, I felt absolutely nothing. I felt no pain. I felt no sadness, no loneliness. And you know what? It felt fucking amazing. I was finally at peace. Now, a good amount of you may know about that one popular TV show. You know, the one with the vampire slayer who's always saving the day and sometimes the world. Well, in one epic episode, she sacrifices herself for the good of the world, especially saving her little sister, who was the original sacrifice. So, of course, she goes to heaven. Meanwhile, her so called friends miss her so much, they bring her back to life. This woman who fought every day as a teenager and well into her adulthood was ripped straight from heaven by her own friends. She had given so much of herself every day for the sake of others, despite all of her trials and tribulations. Imagine after all that she had been through and finally being at peace, then having that taken away from you. Imagine the trauma. Well, now I understand her deeply because I too gave so much of myself for the sake of others. I too gave until I had nothing left. I too escaped and found my peace. And the same thing happened to me. Ain't that a bitch? So here it is, a year later, and I am back in the same damn mental institution. Don't judge me. Hey, I caught myself falling this time. Last time, I was here because I wanted to die. This time, I want to live. Ironically, I will die on that hill. Now, here I am attempting to pour all of my pain down my arms, down my hands, and into the letters, the words, and the pages of this book. Now, hear me out, or would it be read me out? No matter, either way, know this. This is my story. My story. It is not meant to embarrass, target, or defame anyone. My intention is not to put anyone on blast. Once again, this is my story, and everything that you're about to read is the truth, so help me God. The names in this book have been altered, but not their actions. Now, some names remain the same. However, I know that these people are either okay with this or have unfortunately passed away. If this story upsets anyone who just knows that this is their chapter, then as my Aunt Gina told me, if the boot fits. My hopes for this memoir are these. One, to spread awareness to any blood relatives that they did not just hurt me as an individual, they hurt me as a whole group. Two, I hope that this story can help to heal others who are experiencing the same pain, the same loneliness and rejection. And reader, I want you to know that as much as we hate to hear these words, you are not alone. You are just overextending yourself to the wrong people. And three, after pouring all of the pain in my heart into the pages of this book, I pray that it heals me, others suffering through their own similar experiences, and that it heals the inner child within me that was never protected. I hope that not only does all of my pain flow into these pages, but so too does my rage, my bitterness, my hate, envy, grief, and all of my sorrows. You see, the thing about having such a great memory is this. When I remember something from years ago, I remember it in such a detail that it's no longer just a memory. It's happening all over again. I feel that pain all over again as if it just happened. My memory is indeed a blessing and a curse. Trigger warning. This story will contain emotional, physical, and sexual abuse. If this is a trigger for you, then you have two options. You can close this book and have a nice day, or you can continue reading this and allow it to become your testament. Let this book become the beginning of your healing experience. As grim as it may have begun, this is a story of a survivor, not a victim. This is a story of releasing my pain and taking in the glory of new and stable mental health. The worst chapters in this story will reveal both the dark and the light. Each chapter that you're about to read will either be about a family member and the pain that they have caused me and how I escaped that darkness, or it will be about a non-blood related family member and how they have accepted me and my son for who we are, how they have loved us unconditionally. Because what I have learned from my experience with the both of these is this. Water is thicker than blood, after all. Thank you.